Toshi update. Where we headed in the next coming weeks and months? All I want to say is, are you guys ready to make life-changing money? If you are, like, comment below, hashtag Toshi, because man, I'm super bullish on Toshi, and honestly, we can really make life-changing money. Okay, I'm going to show you right here the charts on Toshi, my predictions and all that, and you can see the chart speaks for itself. Very bullish chart here on the monthly. We broke out of that pennant exactly to my Fibonacci level. We wicked right to it, not a coincidence. And now we're pulling back for a retest, okay? Before we dig deep here into Toshi, we magnify here and get into the weekly, the daily, and everything. I just want to talk about BitUnix because this is my favorite one, my favorite exchange to use because they have really low fees for withdrawals and also trading. So you can buy Toshi and other coins on here. You can trade it, leverage trading. And my favorite thing about this is the fact that my referral, if you use my referral, which I'll put in the pinned comment, it's also in the description, you can get deposit rewards and trading volume rewards each single month resets. Okay, so this one ends October 3rd. But after that, I'm going to have a new one. And it's like I said, it's not a one-time reward. It's every single month you can get that reward if you deposit that certain amount or if your trading volume is that certain amount. Okay, so definitely take advantage of that. It'll be in the pinned comment right there so you guys can see. But let's take a look here at Toshi. Of course, we can see we get that beautiful wick here to my Fibonacci level, which I've been having this for like months now. Okay, I've been having this for months, and we can see we're pulling back. And you can see, look, I've been talking ever since we came up here for Toshi. We got that massive pump. I said, relax. I'm not buying right now, okay, because I know we're pulling back, especially since Bitcoin started to pull back. But the good thing here, guys, is the fact that, you know, Bitcoin came down a lot and Toshi's been holding up extremely well. If this was a bearish coin, if this was a pump and dump, we would have been, you know, down here somewhere. Even worse over here, right? If this was a pump and dump, Toshi would have broken, it would have basically had like a fake out, breaking out of the pendant, but then going down and breaking down to the downside. But you can see we're slowly pulling back to make that top of the pendant support. And you will see here when I zoom in here on the weekly. So that's a very green flag, specifically because where we are right now with Bitcoin, because Bitcoin came down a lot. You got to understand, Bitcoin came down to like 107, 108 or something like that. So Toshi's been holding up extremely well. Now, if you zoom in here on the weekly, it's doing exactly what I said. It's pulling back right after that huge pump to my Fibonacci level. It's slowly, I mean, not slowly, but, you know, week by week, we're pulling back. In fact, next week, we might test this level right here, okay? Or we might get a wick here. I mean, this is just the start of this week, so we might get this might be the last week where we wick down here, touch it, test a little bit more lower, and then we get that, you know, the start of next week, slowly moving back up. Okay, so this is nothing to worry about in my opinion. I've been accumulating. I already got to the point. I'm happy with this pullback because I got to the point now where I have a good amount of Toshi holdings. I'm probably not going to buy a lot more because I already have a comfortable amount. But if you're just coming into this video or you're just getting into Toshi and you have no Toshi, I'm going to be honest, nothing here is financial advice, of course, but Toshi is still at a great time to buy. You know, obviously you're not super early like right here. But this coin hasn't really exploded yet. In fact, if you really look at it, it's just been consolidating sideways slowly to the upside, right? In this bullish triangle, okay? And really what a bullish triangle is, it's consolidating to the upside, putting in higher lows, while you can see, look, we're putting in higher lows, while, you know, we have this resistance at the same point of control. So basically what a bullish triangle is it's putting higher lows, but it keeps hitting that resistance until it gets to a point where it just breaks right through it. And it did right here, but it's pulling back to flip it as support. Okay, so that's what a bullish pendant is, and this is what Toshi's been doing here for months now, ever since it got listed here on Coinbase. And that's why I'm bullish too, because it's set up for retail. It's already on Coinbase and has a very bullish structure. Okay, not only that, but here on the weekly, you can see here on my on the yellow right here, that's the 25 MA, and the blue is the 21 MA. So you can see we got a beautiful bounce off that 25 MA here on the weekly. And if you wanted to know, okay, man, how did that did we get this big bounce, right? What were the signs that we were going to get that big bounce? Well, you can start with the weekly with the 25 MA holding right here. But if you go over here on the 3-day, this was a clear sign, a clear bullish sign that played out perfectly, which is this bullish divergence. And if you don't know what bullish divergence is, I teach it in my course if you guys want to check it out. But basically, we can see right here when Toshi put in a higher low, also holding that 50 MA here on the 3-day, you can see that the stochastic put in a lower low. You see that? That is bullish divergence, as you can see right there. We put in a higher low for Toshi, but then a lower low on the stochastic. And guess what happened? That played out perfectly. I think it was like a couple weeks or about a month later. Not like a couple weeks later. Boom, right? We exploded. We broke out of the pennant. So I'm telling you guys, that was bullish divergence playing out perfectly as expected right there for Toshi. And even on the 3-day, we're pulling back here. And I expect Toshi to, we could pull down a little bit more lower, but I expect this zone right here to be that bounce, right, where we flip that resistance as support. And you can see there's a lot of resistance here from the past, but we're pulling back to flip it as support. This was probably the most obvious pullback, by the way, too. When I saw Toshi pumping out here, I should have taken profits, but honestly, I'm just holding Toshi. I'm not trying to, day trade it. I'm trying to hold it, especially for, short-term capital gain stacks too. I don't want to get into that. So, but I didn't buy here. I waited, and I've been buying here the last couple of days with this pullback for Bitcoin too. Okay, so overall, I'm super bullish on Toshi. Yes, we can pull back down a little bit more for sure. But at some point, we're going to flip this as support and then just have this massive bounce. Okay, just like right here. We pulled back here to flip this as support, and then we had that beautiful bounce. All right, as you guys can see right there. And on the daily as well, we were extremely overbought on the daily from that bounce, that huge pump right there, breaking the pendant. And with this pullback on the daily, as you can see, we're finally out oversold territory. Okay, so on the daily, we're oversold. You can see that we're in these critical MAs here on the daily as well. Look at that. I mean, that's beautiful to see right there on this pullback as Toshi pulls back on the daily and bounces on the 25 and the 50 with the 25 crossing over the 50. So, you got to understand that pullbacks are bullish. Pullbacks, yes, the price is going down, but it's super bullish. Okay? So, again, super bullish on Toshi. I expect Toshi to really have this breakout probably Q4 this year. So very, very soon. Could be in October. And once we do have that confirmation, that bounce, the next target obviously is where we wicked up to here. And then when we break that, when we close above that, the next target is its all-time high. And then, as you guys know, my price prediction over here, right in the sell zone here. If you guys want to see my price prediction on Toshi, you can check out my price prediction playlist or just search here on my channel. You'll see it. But I'm very bullish on Toshi. I do think right now is a great time to buy if you don't hold Toshi. I hold already a ton of it. So I might pick, if we go a little bit more lower, I might pick up a little bit more. But I'm already comfortable in my portfolio. But I still believe it's still a good time to get Toshi on financial ways because it hasn't exploded yet, to be honest. So thank you guys so much for following. Check out BitUnix, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.